Welcome back. New and emerging skills development providers from historically disadvantaged groups to express their interest for development and capacitation to deliver to the W&RSETA programs. The Wholesale and Retail Sector Education and Training Authority was established in 2000 in terms of the Skills Development Act as amended. SETAs are entities of the Department of Higher Education and Training. There are 21 SETAs in total, each servicing a specific economic sector of the country. Tom Mkhwanazi is the CEO of the Wholesale and Retail Sector Education and Training Authority, SETA, and he joins us to talk more about this. A very good evening to you, and thank you so much for speaking to us. Let's first start with what your role is as W&RSETA. Please unmute yourself, Mr. Mkhwanazi.
Good morning, good evening, Tsepiso and the viewers at home. The SETA carries a mandate to facilitate skills development in South Africa through a disbursement of grants for a number of programs like learnership, SMME, cooperative development, management programs, internships, and bursaries. So we really facilitate skills development in South Africa for economic development in the country. And as you've indicated, our SETA is one that contributes, is part of the economy that contributes about a third of the largest contributor of the economy. So we've got about 80% of our companies are SMMEs, and the sector employs over 2 million people. Generally. So we really play a role in terms of skills development.
And I mean, it's a very important time, not only for the future of work in various sectors, but I'd imagine for yours specifically, especially when we're talking about wholesale and retail. Tell me what programs have been implemented in assisting businesses and programs impacted by COVID-19, and just this core, has it created new opportunities of how to overcome future such challenges?
We've implemented a number of programs. For example, with SMME development, we have given grants last year in the last financial year for 2,400 small businesses to implement courses that address the key skills gaps to run their business more efficiently. But we've also assisted informal traders in our sector so that they become profitable. And we give them a grant of about 3,000 rand at the end of the program. We also have had a program for about 100 entrepreneurship development program for the young people, to train them on new venture creation and to provide them with a grant of about 15,000 for their businesses. So that's how we have assisted. But we have also assisted our training providers and also our companies with PPE, which is for protection during that period, because we wanted training to continue. And with universities and TVET colleges, we've also assisted them with the provision of laptops and data, so that through our program, so that we can really assist during this period of COVID-19, so that the training would continue. As you would know, that our sector continued to operate even during the different levels of alert level lockdown during the COVID-19 period.
But I just also want to understand, have you been able to achieve your role during these times, especially in terms of quality assurance? I mean, as I mentioned, a lot of sectors have been challenged. Have you been able to pivot, circumvent some of these?
So we had to really think very quickly and start implementing new ways of doing things. So through our quality assurance program, we had to change and move into an online mechanisms like using Zoom and Microsoft Teams and whatever facilities that were there in order to ensure that the quality assurance programs continue. And then I think we've been very, very, very successful in doing that. And I think as a country, we know that we were quite lagging with for IR And I think we were challenged, and we met the challenge by introducing these interventions during that particular period.
I want to talk about the scope for more programs, what programs are operating now that can continue, but the space that can be created, especially in skills and training development, this is something that a lot of people have had to come to terms with because of limitations in movement and access to certain facilities as well. Talk us through this and what you would say to young people who would want to be part of this sector or work towards it.
Well, I think generally what we find is that young people don't necessarily see wholesale and retail sector as a career of choice. And as a result, what we have done is to come up with a career guidance strategy that is integrated, that is actually assisting and ensuring that we don't just go to the schools and give papers and sharing with young people. So we are planning to then partner with the sector so that the young people can see that there are different career pathways within the wholesale and retail sector, and there are really a number of opportunities that young people can therefore see opportunities on. But also, as we're going to continue with our programs that I've already indicated to you, especially focusing on SMME and entrepreneurship, so that young people can then get an opportunity to start their own businesses and do not see, for example, a spaza shop as just another business, but we want them to take spaza shop as a real business and that create convenience for their own communities and so that they can then build up and build this economy.
Thank you so much for your time. Wholesale and Retail SETA CEO Tom Mkhwanazi. Right, let's go straight to